You're now listening to Season 3 of Blacklist Hustle Podcast. What's up, Hustle Hive? Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 21 of Blacklist Hustle Podcast. We are back. We are here. We are strong. I'm so excited for this season. There's so much new things that I want to talk about. And I feel like as I'm changing and going through things in my life and changing and learning new things, the best way to help the culture, progress the culture, be with the culture, and to talk about those things where we're defying society's expectations and talking about what it is right now as a young millennial and how we are living our life is to go through it. And I am going through it. And y'all are here to hear about how I'm going through it to possibly help your life. So therefore, here we are, Season 3. We are back. We are better. I'm so excited, like I said, for today's episode. I'm going to educate you guys a little bit on what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and what's going on with entrepreneurship life, what's going on in my personal life, and basically going into a little bit more of the details here pretty soon. But I'm so happy to be here and to be able to talk with you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me and for talking with me. And on top of that, thank you so much for staying true and staying consistent with me, to everyone who's been promoting and helping the podcast grow. Thank you so much. Our Hustle High family is growing. I see you guys. I see everyone out there. We do have, shout out to Ghana. We have 2 people from Ghana looking at our podcast, listening in, guys. We got 1 person from the United Kingdom. We got 4 people in Germany still, 3 people in Brazil, 1 person in Mexico, and 316 people spread out throughout the United States who are deep diving, listening into the podcast. I don't know about you guys, but that right there is major growth. So much success behind that, and I have no one to thank but you guys. I thank myself, but I really thank you guys. You guys are the reason I wanted to do this, and I wanted to share, and I wanted to help. And I just feel like, besides me being a talkative person and always having something to say and something that I want to do, you guys are the ones that, when I look at those numbers, it motivates me to be like, okay, what else do they want to hear? What comes next? What else are you going through that you feel like you can help someone else in their life and, learn something or try to figure something out or inspire someone? I'm really big type of person on inspiration, where I want to inspire people. So thank you so much. It really means so much to me at the bottom of my heart. I thought I'd start off the beginning of the episode a little bit different. I do not own the rights to that music, to that song, but if you guys do want to know who that song is, who raps, who sings it, it is Ski with Young Stoner Life, and I think Young Thug, and all of them are in there. That's a really good song, so go ahead and check them out. There is a ski challenge going on right now, so if you have not tapped into that ski challenge, make sure you are tapping into that, and let's get into today's episode. All right, you guys, so jumping into today's episode, I'm not sure exactly what I want to title this episode just yet, but pretty much from the looks of it, what I have written down here is basically, are you an entrepreneur or are you a successful entrepreneur? And the things that I'm going to talk about in today's episode, you don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur in order to receive a message from this podcast episode, okay? I'm just an entrepreneur. Am I a successful entrepreneur? No, not yet. But will I be? Yes, absolutely. Because I have the heart for it, because I have the drive, because I have passion for it. Not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur, and that's fine. Some people are meant to be in the office, pushing papers, answering phones, and doing that for another person. Not me. People who think that they are meant to be entrepreneurs, about 80% of us aren't. And I'm just kind of throwing a percentage out there because I think that's a realistic number, because the other 20% are basically people who are actual go-getters. people who have a millionaire mindset, people who don't mind waking up early or, doing projects or working 17 hours to make something happen, people who are dedicated to putting in time to learn something new or reading books and applying that knowledge and the skill that they're learning to actually be successful. So I just thought I'd start off by saying that. And because there is a difference between an entrepreneur and a successful entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that just says, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to start a business, I want to do this, I want to invest my money, I want my money to make money for me, and this is what I'm going to do. And I just want to throw a little side note out here. A lot of people who are in the Forex, who have invested into Forex, are not all successful entrepreneurs. Yes, a lot of them are entrepreneurs because they're making money from their phone mobily, the ones who apply it correctly, but they're also marketers because they're marketing people to join their program to then make them residual income, and then the person that they sign up get people to sign up under them, and then it's like people call it a pyramid scheme, but how can I say this? I've had good things and bad things when it comes to Forex. I'm using this as an example because it's the quickest thing that I feel like our people in our generation, we see a lot right now on our timelines and on social media, and people are promoting this whole Forex thing and investing your money and doing all this stuff. And if you're investing your money, most likely people are jumping on, with Robinhood and stuff like that. And the people who are investing their time into Forex need to realize that they need to actually have time to do it. They shouldn't quit their job, join Forex, and then realize, oh shit, I don't have money to actually invest money into this program. And I don't have the people lined up behind me to sign up 2 or 3 people to be successful to where I don't have to pay this $100 to $230 a month to be able to learn the skills of this program to be successful. Okay, so I just thought I'd say that and kind of get that out of the way. But while still using Forex as an example, it's not a scam, depending on how the way you use it. Entrepreneurship can be a scam. It can be a scam, depending on how the way you use it. And I say that because everything you go into is going to be risk. Okay, everything we do is going to have and it's going to be risk. Now, it's based off when we're learning the things that we're forced to face when becoming an entrepreneur or going on in our day-to-day life, how we react, how we handle problems, how we find solutions to the problems that we have, and the milestones that come along is what makes us successful, is what makes us that successful entrepreneur, what makes us successful in life in general. Okay, so when it comes to Forex, people who don't know how to market, people who don't have a big following, people who aren't engaging won't be successful in the Forex market, because you need to market, you need to have people that you want to interact with, you need to interact with those people. Everyone in business needs to understand this. You need to know your target audience. You need to know that person that you're targeting. If it's a young person who wants to make money, you have an audience. You have a targeted person. Is this person male or female? Are they big or small? What do they want? Do they like to travel? Do they like to eat? What do they want to do? Do they want to work from home, or do they want to do a 9-to-5 and work from home? Do they have a family? Do they have that time? Once you bring down your niche into your target once you bring your niche down and to your target person, to your character, to the person that you are marketing to, then at that point you can be successful with promoting your stuff to that person. That's why Facebook ads and Google Pics and all this stuff, it works, because the fact that when you figure out who that person is and you're using all these different programs to help you be successful, and you're able to put in those little things, if it's male or female, what this is and what this not, and all the little details. At that point, you're able to build a profile. And once you build a profile and you're able to market yourself and you're able to engage with people and using all the different social media platforms, as far as TikTok, as far as Facebook, as far as Instagram, every Snapchat, every marketing tool that there is out there, once you're out there and you're engaging and your target and your audience is seeing your face and your products or what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to promote, and they see you and they see what you're doing and they see proof of it, that's then when you flip that into a conversion. That's when you convert that person into a sale, into a customer, okay? And be mindful and really think about what I'm talking about when I'm saying conversions and converting a person to a customer and all this other stuff. These are key things that I want you to kind of remember for later on in the episode, because I'm going to be talking about that and how what society and how all of our life is just built around conversions and money and dollar signs and converting people into sales, okay? Remember that keyword, sales, all right? So moving forward with this, when in Forex, people are building a team and stuff like that. In entrepreneurship, one, it's scary to build a team. One, because you probably don't have the money to build a team. And two, if you do have the money to build a team, then the first thing that comes up in your head is, I don't want nobody to handle my money. I want to do it myself. And who can I trust and who can I trust? And I don't want anybody to know who my vendors are or who this is, because the fact that I want to be successful, and if I let people know all these little bitty details, then they won't value me. I won't have any value. And I want you to hear me out when I say this. That's because you're not adding value to your customer. That's because you're not adding value to someone's life that they want to help you, or that they want to be in your circle, or that you feel comfortable when building a team. Okay? That's just the most important thing. Now, in Forex, how you're successful, like I said, is because you're marketing, is because you're engaging, and it's the last thing. It's because you're consistent with it. You're consistent by actually putting in time, and you're passionate about it. Entrepreneurs who want to not work for other people are passionate about waking up, reading a book, getting a routine together, and figuring out what it is that they have to do to be like the other celebrity or the other person making thousands and millions of dollars, traveling halfway around the world to do what they are doing and live their lifestyle, and not live the lifestyle from people who are fake posting stuff that's not theirs on your Instagram timeline. Okay, I'll say that one more time. A successful person and a successful entrepreneur who wants to grow and be successful can only do that by building a routine, actually waking up and wanting to do and read a book, and wanting to learn, and wanting to apply, and wanting to invest, and wanting to gain knowledge and give knowledge. Those are people who want to be successful, and they want to do those things every day that they wake up, because they want to make thousands and millions of dollars, like the celebrities and like, pro athletes and the people that we see. We want their lifestyle, but the successful people who want that lifestyle are willing to work for it. Keyword, they're willing to work for it. They want to work for it. And because they're willing to work for it and do all those things, they're putting in time and energy. That's another keyword, time and energy. Successful people don't sleep. You hear that all the time, but it's absolutely true. I am in the middle of my life to where I'm trying to be an entrepreneur, where I'm not getting sleep, where I am pulling all-nighters, where I'm trying to do, the day before my lunch, I pulled an all-nighter to make sure my website was up, everything was tested, all the analytics, all the graphics, all the marketing, everything was put together. Why? Because I believe in my dream, because I want to be successful. So I knew if I wanted that to work and I didn't want complications the next day, for even if I got one order, I needed to stay up and make sure that happened. If that meant going all night without sleep, making sure I woke up and did my regular 9-to-5 job while my website launched and took care of my daughter, that's what I needed to do. And that's exactly what I did. So those little things is what's going to make me that successful entrepreneur, and not just an entrepreneur. That's how you differentiate the two. The people are willing to go get it and work for it, and the people who just say they have a plan and they sit on it. Or they just have the title, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm going to sit on it. Those are the people who may or may not have an LLC and they just sit there on it. Okay, I have an LLC. That's what they told me to do. Okay, what do I do from here? What do I do next? Where do I go from here? And now that I go from here, who do I go to? What information do I need? People that are asking all those questions, the who, what, when, where, and why. It's fine to ask those questions, but are you seeking people just to give you the answers, or are you going out there and doing the research and trying to gain that knowledge for yourself? That's another thing. People who just want people to give them the answers, and people who are willing to go out there and seek the answers themselves. You can't always, in entrepreneurship and just in life, you can cheat off of someone so much and what they did, But at the same time, you're not always going to know the blueprint for every single little step they took for the milestones that they got. Okay? It's up to you on a day-to-day basis, every single day of life. We wake up, thankfully, and thank God, hopefully, and is a challenge or a milestone or something you face in your day where it either makes you feel some type of way, or you realize some shit, or you're just done with the day, or you're not done with the day, but there's something that goes on in your day where you either need to figure it out yourself, or you're trying to look at someone to get the answer from. That's another thing that differentiates an entrepreneur from a successful entrepreneur, and a go-getter from a person who's lazy. So that's something that I want to point out to you guys, and hopefully, you're getting something from this already. Hopefully I'm, making that clock, making that brain work, making something tick. Okay? Something that I want to say to you guys is that you have to want and love. You have to want it, and you have to love what you want. And if you don't do that, you won't put in the hours. So if I love coming up with new business ideas, and I love, wanting to be an entrepreneur, and I love the idea of, my money for me, then I'm going to want it. Then I'm going to want to be willing to put in hours into it. If I don't love that idea, or let's just say, for an example, a non-entrepreneur, let's say someone wants to be a doctor, or they claim they want to be a doctor, or even someone like a basketball player. Okay? If you don't love that sport, if you don't have passion for it, if you don't want to do it, if a basketball player just woke up, or was born one day and you happen to be 6'10", biologically, everyone is just over here like, well, you're a basketball player now. You're 6'10", you ain't got shit else to do, so you might as well go play basketball. You might as well go dribble a ball. You might as well try to go to the pro, go to the NBA, do something with yourself, because you're 6'10", and that's what you're going to do. Everyone is pre-writing your life for you because you're 6'10". But if you don't have love and passion for that sport of basketball, you're not going to be willing or wanting to put in the hours and the skills and the drills and do all that in order to be successful with it. So now you're a 6'10" dude playing basketball, don't love it, don't care if you get injured for it, but you're there. Or you could be a 6'10" guy who loves, stocks. And you're over here and, you're on Wall Street and you live in New York and you're successful, but you're 6'10". And, people might confuse you as a basketball player and stuff like that. And, it'll be a funny little joke at the bar and stuff. But at the end of the day, your success is in stocks. You're a businessman. You're a corporate executive on Wall Street, living your best life, happy to do it. You know what I'm saying? You see the difference here? You have to love what you want to do in order to have the passion and put in the time and the work for it. If you don't, then you're not going to push to be successful in it. Okay? And it's kind of sad, but it's the honest truth in everything that I'm saying. You have to realize that what I'm doing and the journey that I'm taking, the things that I'm doing, the podcast, my business, all of that, it's a journey. And I want to share and talk with that journey about you guys. That's what I want to try to do, is always be able to document or be able to give some positive and some informational feedback to you guys, for you guys to hear and listen and take in and hopefully take something away to apply to what you're doing and where you are in your life. Because it's not easy being a millennial. It's not easy being Generation X or Z or whatever the hell we are. It's not easy to be a person coming right out of high school that possibly didn't go to college or came to college and expect to have the answers, because everyone claims that you're college ready or you're college and career ready or you're going to be ready as soon as you graduate because of all the information that they fed you through a book. I'll say this again right now. I think I said it before on a podcast, but I kind of just want to reiterate it. I think knowledge and learning is so much fun. I love learning new things and I love applying it. I love school. I don't like that you get tested for the amount of knowledge that you take in because everyone learns differently. I don't think And I wish I would have known this before, but I don't believe that college was absolutely necessary in order to be successful. Obviously, we've seen it before. There's billions and billions of people in the world, or millions of people in the world, who are successful without college degrees. Degrees you pay for a piece of paper in a school that tells you, hey, you went to, Grand Canyon University, or you went to, I don't fucking know, Princeton or whatever, and you got this degree. Now you're going to be successful and you're going to make X amount of money. That's not true. To me, it's a scam. College is a scam. 1 is to put you in debt. 2 is to give you a piece of paper to make you feel accomplished in something, when really, let's just think about COVID for a second. Let's think about a sidebar. I'm going to use someone who I personally know as an example. Back in the day, they didn't have a degree for an accounting job at a bank, right? Okay, they didn't have a degree for it because at the time you did not need a degree for it. This person has over 20 years worth of experience as a banker in accounting, doing something special with the bank, right? Now that COVID happened, they fire all the employees. So what they do is all the new people that have graduated in the graduating class, what they do is they put them in their place of all the people that they fired with 20 years worth of experience without a college degree in order to pay them less. And now you think that you're going to be paid all this money, that's big money, when realistically the person who had 20 years worth of experience was getting paid more than what you're getting paid now as a college degree or a college grad with a degree, because you're lower paid because you have no experience. So they have a reason not to pay you X amount of money because you have zero experience in the position. Now, the only thing good is, obviously, there's 20 years worth of difference as far as like knowledge, new technology, new things, upgrades and stuff like that or whatever. But those are little things that people are able to apply in a slideshow, or a little bit of one-on-one coaching, or, group manager team coaching. I see people do it all the time. I work for a business. I have a 9-to-5 job. If they want us to teach something, they have someone train us. Or they come up with a quick little PowerPoint or a little video. Hey, this is how you work the system. That's how you do for people with 20 years worth of experience that don't have a degree. So that's how you catch them up with the same pay. Now you have people, like I said, that graduated, have zero experience, get paid lower amount of money for more knowledge that they know. That doesn't make sense, right? Absolutely not. It's a scam. Why get paid less for more knowledge that you have on a system or something than someone that has 20 years worth of experience getting paid more, but they don't work there no more? So that's my little spill kind of like on that, just a little introduction into it. But what I can say or do for someone listening to this podcast sorry, I'm like moving around in my chair, guys. So the best thing is, right now, the day and age, the things that we are, the time that we are in is accountability, being humble, knowing the type of person that you are, and obviously figuring out how to keep up with all the new technology and all the new apps and all the new things that are coming out. You want to know why? The best asset that you can have right now in 2021, in this society, in this day and age, post-COVID, is eyes. Eyes on you. The best asset that you can have on you is people looking at you. And that's everywhere. That's with all the apps that we use. Okay? Now, what that can do is, like, for an example, someone listening to this podcast or searching me or listening to more episodes, what that does is it helps people become inspired. It helps me become inspired. It helps my content, helps my discussions, help my topics become so much better. Okay? This is what we call the form of networking, a form of building. This is how I want to inspire you guys. This is how I aspire to be great and do great, is by helping others. Okay? That's something that has always been true about me, that I know about me and my person, my character. I know that I aspire to help others and want to inspire others. And by doing that is through knowledge. By doing that is by helping. And that's what I want this podcast to be. That's what I want my life to be about. And that's what I strive for it to be about. And this is why I do this podcast. Once again, I do it because, I'm not scared to have the discussions and have the conversations that no one else wants to have. And, when no one wants to have the hard conversations or whatever, we can't admit when we fuck up. That's one thing about me. I will always admit when I fuck up about something because I'm not scared to learn from the fuck up mistake that I made. People don't like mistakes. People all think like they try to be perfect. They want to be perfect. I've aspired to be perfect, but then I realized the more I try to be perfect, the more I fuck up. So by me realizing I need to take it one step at a time and realize that there's no possible way for me to be perfect, I fuck up less. But when I fuck up, I make sure that I admit to it. And that's the best thing I think about realizing when you are an entrepreneur and when you work for somebody else. And I feel like I get the best of it because the best of both worlds is because I'm like actually like living it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here real life today, working a 9 to 5 to where I work for someone. And if I fuck up, I have, it's the big person. It's the CEO's fault. It could be my fault, but there's always someone above that it's their fault for not teaching me. Me as an entrepreneur, if I fuck up, it's my fault because it's my business. What didn't I know? What knowledge did I not have in order to be successful or make that run smoother? What technique did I not apply for problem solving that could have been applied before? Okay, so another thing I want you guys to realize just in life, like I said, this episode, you do not have to be an entrepreneur to realize it. I wish I could video this right now for you guys because I would love to upload it on YouTube and stuff. But the thing is that everything that I'm saying now, you can apply in the real world. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, once again. So accountability. It's the fact or condition of being responsible. You need accountability in life. Not a lot of us are accountable. We're not holding ourselves accountable for any of, like I said, the fuck ups that we're doing or anything in life that we see or do or act upon or say. We're not holding ourselves accountable. Accountability will make you go a long way as an individual. Humility, the modest or low view of one's own importance. Humbleness, you need to be humble. If you are not humble, someone can crush you. Okay, understand that there's always going to be someone better than you. There's always going to be someone that knows more. There's always going to be someone more. Understand that you being humble, that person of more hopefully will reach back down to get you. And if they don't, you do that. Each one teach one. When I become successful, I will remember everyone who was there for me. And I will then help. My biggest thing in life is I want to help. How can I help others become successful? How can I help others to be inspired? How can I help others? That's my thing. That right there would be my title. If I die, put my shit on my gravestone. Marianna was the type to say, how can she with others? How can she help? Help was my fucking key word, okay? I would put a t-shirt on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would put that shit on a t-shirt. That is me. That's the type of person I am. I'm very, very humble. I love helping others. I know a lot of people who go into this entrepreneurial world and learn all these things. There's difference if you're not applying and, being lazy. I'm not lazy. All of the knowledge that I have gained is by research and by doing and by paying for mentors. If you're looking for someone to give you the answers or whatever, obviously someone's not going to want to come and help you because they want you to also learn. I've learned. So people who are also trying to learn, I'm humble enough to reach back and help them or want to bring them up with me. Don't be an ego person. Ego is a sense of self-esteem and one's self-importance. Don't do it. Okay? If you're egotistic, you have so much insecurity. Okay? Ego is insecurity. And confidence is not, egotistic. Okay? People get the two misconstrued all the time. All right? And, another thing is we need to rethink the calibration for what it is to be successful or what success looks like. It shouldn't be about making, millions of dollars. Okay, if you accomplish making $100,000 just max cap in your life, like you should feel successful. It's hard for people to make 60,000, 80,000. So if you make 100,000, not even close to $1 million, you need to know that you are therefore successful. You have done great for yourself. Everyone's life is different, so not everyone can reach that $1 million mark. So I feel like that's another thing we need to do as a society and as individuals and need to have discussions on. We need to reevaluate what it is to be successful because success for everyone is so different and it's seen different, okay? And success can be how money makes money for you. How you don't have to wake up. Some people feel successful being parent and being a damn good parent or being a foster parent or whatever the case may be. Everyone's idea is different, and that's something that we need to look at. Because we live in a time in this culture where people have dismissed our generation. And by dismissing our generation, they have marked us and checked us off as a lost cause because we are not living up to certain expectations. Hence this podcast, okay? Defying society's expectations of what we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do, and having those hard conversations and living up to those, standards and expectations that people are expecting and whatnot, okay? But just understand that the expectation that are seen and are met become trendy. Our trendy topics, okay? Our trendy little things that are going on in life or, in society. It's not expected for people to marry. The expectation for us is to marry, live the American dream, whatever the fuck that is, put a white picket fence up, get a house or whatever, build a family. That's the expectation. Reality is everyone does not want to get married. Monogamy is not a big thing. Being polyamorous or, being bisexual or non-binary or not identifying yourself as anything at all, having multiple sex partners, being a hoe, just whatever it is, all those things are normal. Or having kids out of wedlock and, not being married when having kids, not being a virgin by the time you have sex or whatever, or even when you get married. All those things are things that are trendy because the fact that they're not, expected. So moving on into a new topic, I'm trying to kind of tie everything together, just to try to make sense, but also to try to get all my points across. Stop the validation because it'll fuck you up. All right. So I've said on multiple different podcast episodes, or I think I had a whole podcast episode on validation. But I just want to kind of retouch base on that. When you are trying to validate something, or when you seek validation, you are then identified to do or be what you were validated for. Okay. So if I'm trying to see what is my example here that I want to give to you guys to kind of help along with this. Okay, guys. So when you do something great or you do something amazing or you're noticed for it, and it's nice to be appreciated, it's nice to be noticed, okay? But a lot of those things, you need to realize those are skills. Oh, you're real smart. You made A+, you made principles list. That's a skill. You're able to retain knowledge and perform very well on an academic level. That's a skill. Okay. Now that you have that skill, or, hey, you're really good at basketball, you're going to be a basketball star. Basketball, that's a skill. If you're able to play the game, know the game, and able to do what you need to do within a game, that is a skill. Okay, but don't allow that to still consume your identity, and don't allow a skill to overpower your passion. Okay, that's kind of like what I was talking earlier with, the whole, basketball example again of, you have to love what you want to do, or else you're not going to put the time into it. This is the same thing. Because you have a skill in something does not mean you have a passion for it. And when people are identified as, hey, you're seeking validation because you're really good at this and you're wanting to be noticed for it, you're then being identified as that one thing, as your skill, not because you have a passion for it. If you do. All right, so listen carefully, because this is something I really thought about, as a parent. So if you're a parent or thinking about becoming a parent, or if you just really don't give a fuck about kids, then, just don't listen. But listen to my parents, my future parents, my hustle hive, my culture thrivers. I'm sorry. Here's some examples that I'm kind of talking about, when I say this. So if someone tells you that you're pretty so much in life, you're now identified as you want to be a pretty person. So now you're consumed about your appearance, yourself. You're not aware of others, your life, your surrounding, because you're worried about your look, your body, your face. And, in a way, it can be good because you're marketing yourself. And that's another thing I want to talk about, but it'll probably be on another podcast episode, is what it is to, kind of be a boss and to have that appearance and stuff like that. And I kind of want to get a couple of things from Kevin Samuel's, podcast or, YouTube videos and stuff like that, because that's what he does for a living and stuff. It's a little weird and kind of a fucked up way that he does it or whatever, but a lot of his points are really strong. But the point that I'm trying to get at is when you alone just are a pretty face, that's all you're identified as, that's all you want to get a validation for, you become consumed by that so much that you don't realize that other people matter and that there's other things going on in life besides yourself. And that's the point of that first example. Now, the second example is true. I'm going to bring it back up because it's something that we really don't break down in the Black community or just in general. A lot of parents do this, or a lot of people do this. In the Black community, we think that thriving or to be successful, we think that we like celebrities and athletes, but maybe not so much more. So let me re-say that. In the Black community, when we think to be successful or to thrive, we think of celebrities and we think of athletes. And, when I say maybe not so much more, because a lot of people, want to be doctors, want to be lawyers, want to be prosecutors, want to be judges, or whatever. But let me ask you this. Name a Black doctor. Name a really well-known Black doctor. Name well-known judges. Name well-known whatever. You know what I'm saying? Name a Black professional that's in a high position that you know, or that you can name that everybody will know. That's what I'm saying. So in the Black community, when you say LeBron James, everybody fucking knows who LeBron James is. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows who the stars are, but no one knows who the person who saves people's lives on a daily basis is, especially if we're talking about people of color. All right. So I bet if you ask, especially in a high school, because we're talking about us, because my graduating class is 2016. So I try to base everything from my high school career and up. Okay, so from 2016, if I took my 2016 male graduating class, and those who are basketball players in that class, if I asked them, what did you want to be, or what are you going to do when you graduate from high school? 80 to 90% of them are going to say, I'm going to play basketball, or I'm going to go to college and play basketball, or I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know if college is for me. I don't know anything. Shit, I don't know what's next. So I'm just taking it day by day, trying to make it to graduation. And then when I get from graduation, I'll probably stay with my parents for a little bit. Maybe go to community college. Fuck it. I'll let my parents decide what they want to do for me, what they want me to do. And a lot of people think like that. They don't know what they want to do. And you don't even have to do males. You don't have to do Black males. You can do anybody. I'm just trying to make the example easy to where you guys can really understand that if you, or just knowing people in your high school who played basketball or played a sport, and you asked them what they wanted to do, majority of them felt like they were going to go to college to go play that. And if they weren't, they were going to go to college in general. And I'm pretty sure if I was really, really, really good at math, once again, I'm going to throw a random percentage out of there. I'm pretty sure 5% or 10% of those people did not go to college, did not graduate college. Because, if I'm just going to be part of a statistic, I didn't graduate college. I was done after my freshman year. I was done, over it, and it was a shocker for me. I'll talk about that in another episode. But in reality, a lot of people don't know what they want to do, or they think that they're going to go to college doing that one thing, or just say that they're going to allow their parents to still decide what they want to be, when really legally at 18, when majority of people graduate, you're an adult. Your parents don't necessarily have to do shit for you. And not a lot of people really take time to really think upon that. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes really eye-opening to people. And that's why it becomes so shocking. And I think such a big change for us as young people, as young adults, from the transition from high school to college, and from college, into the real world, or really from high school into the real world, because it's a culture shock, because no one's really realizing all the shit that's changing and the shit that we really have to do and how the world really operates. No one really prepares you for how the world operates, because there's a lot of shit that you got to do in order to learn. You have to do in order to learn. And a lot of us either don't do that or haven't done it, or when we do it, we fuck up and that's how we learn, or we fuck up and our parents fix it for us, all that type of shit. And that's why a lot of us are struggling. I see, especially in my graduating class and a lot of my friends and stuff, I see that we are struggling. We are struggling to progress as a society, as a culture, because of the fact that we don't know a lot. A lot of us didn't know about credit. A lot of us didn't know about home equity. A lot of us didn't really fucking realize how expensive it was for toilet paper, how expensive it was for detergent, until you lived on your own or your parents made you have to buy your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of us, took advantage of a phone bill or took advantage of gas. You know what I mean? Those of us who had to pay their own gas money in high school and stuff, and their parents didn't fill up their car, or maybe your parents did fill up your car and there was like, all you get for the week is $10. You got to make it work. Don't be taking a whole bunch of friends home and you realize you're the one with the car and all your friends want to drive in your car, and you're like, well, shit, y'all need to get us some gas money. And they look at you crazy like, bitch, you got the car? And then it's like, well, bitch, listen, my parents only said they give me $5-10 for gas this week, so y'all gonna have to figure it out. If you want me to take you home, or if you want to go to this football game, or if you want to go to the mall this weekend, you know what I'm saying? Nobody stops to think about little shit like that because it's little shit. Now we're adults, so we got to think about that because that little shit became the big shit. It became what our life is consumed with. So once again, culture shock. I just thought once again, let y'all know. But that was the example, though. No one's realizing, if we were realistically to think back in high school, and everyone and teachers and people who were asking us what we wanted to do, and you just sit there and think about it and stuff. A lot of people was like, fuck, I don't know what I want to do, or said that they were going to do this, or we're going to figure it out and whatnot. If now, like I said, I graduated in 2016, so think back when you graduated. And think about the people you graduated with and the people that you know. Now fast track. We're in 2021. Where are those people? Where are you? How, from the people that you did know that wanted to go to college or play basketball or do this sport or do this career, how many of them are actually doing it? And are you actually doing what you said you were going to do? Did your life turn out the way that you expected it to? You know what I'm saying? Those are the little things that we're taking for granted that we don't think about. And the only time we seem to think about those things is if we're around a whole bunch of our friends, or maybe have a little mini high school reunion, or you're looking at other people posting graduation pictures, and not all the people that were quiet and really nerdy. A lot of them became hoes, had kids at young age, wanted to experience more shit, went far fucking away from their parents to figure it out, became drug addicts. I would say, from what I've known in my graduating class in 2016, my graduating class so far to me has had the most pregnancy and suicide rates. Or I don't even say suicide because I don't even know if it's suicide. My graduating class in 2016 had the most pregnancies and had the most deaths. Those are the top two things. I don't really know success rate because I can only maybe count on hand maybe 5 or 10 people that I know have actually graduated college, that has a degree under their belt. And majority of them, I would say out of all that, it was probably 2 or 3 people that I knew for sure that were going to do something. The other people, I was fucking shocked. I was like, oh shit, you did it, bitch. God damn, look at you. I'm proud of you. Look at you. A round of fucking applause. Would you like a cookie? Wow, you did something. Shit, I might as well eat a cookie with you too. Have a shot. God damn, you did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where it's just like, God damn, you're realizing a lot. A lot about life too is about looking back and looking forward and having that thing of, realization. A lot of us don't like to realize shit, once again. And a lot of us, upon realizing stuff, don't make changes. And that's another thing. Once you realize some shit, good or bad, make a change. Make a change. And a lot of the people are like, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. No, there's always an upgrade. Shit, next turn around. I didn't even know there was an iPhone 12 out. I I got the 8+ still, but I'm sitting here like, fuck, there was a whole 12 last time I checked. We was still on 10. Goddamn, how do we get to 12 for the iPhones? There's always a new upgrade. There's always more and something new that you can do and that you can see and that you can better yourself in. There's always something more, something new, and always an upgrade. And that's what we need to get on. That's what we need to kind of get on top of, okay? Because us as millennials, we felt because we're looking for validation and gratification. And when we don't get that physical gratification or anything, or that skill-wise, if we don't get that validation, when we step out into the real world, when we graduated from high school or graduated from college, we were lost because we were seeking for those things. You were looking for your professor in college to be like, oh my gosh, great job, you turned in your essay. Congratulations. You know what? You used the MLA format. You did a one finger space, or you did a double space. Look at you. You did really, really good. Or you indented your paragraphs. Congratulations. Or, hey, you were able to read your note cards. You know what? You studied the PowerPoint the day before the lecture. Congratulations. Good job. You're going to be successful. You know what? Here goes a star. A lot of us, I'm pretty sure, because I know I didn't, you didn't get that in college. You weren't really college ready, college prepared, or high school ready, high school prepared. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit was bullshit to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you're looking and seeking those things that you got in high school, or when you got those things in high school, or your parents are like, oh my gosh, this is my golden child, and then you step onto the real world and you start doing some shit or realizing, stuff and trying new things, then you're not in your parents' expectations anymore. They're not giving you validation. They're not giving you praise. You're not getting that praise from high school, and you're in college, and we're in this real world, and we're like, fuck. Well, I don't know if I'm doing this right because ain't nobody giving me no validation. Ain't nobody patting me on the back. I didn't get my sticker today. Shit, that bitch didn't break a cookie with me no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're lost. We're stuck. And it's sad because, once again, I'm always going to bring up the fact that just because we are in our 20s does not mean we need to drink our problems away. It does not mean we need to do drugs and hurt our bodies. It does not mean we need to kill and, do all these bad things in order to make ourselves feel better or ease the pain or do all of those things. You know what I'm saying? So I just noticed that when the bar is set high for those who are in high school and stuff, and you guys enter college, the expectations, they're still high. They're still set high. And, people who aren't, or who were in high school and didn't have, a lot of expectations, or kind of slacked off and stuff like that, and didn't have such a high expectation, at the end of the day, this happens. People are drinking, and because they're drinking their problems away and all that validation and stuff that they're seeking, they end up failing. And you end up failing because of the fact that you're drinking so much, or you're doing so many drugs, or you're partying so much that you're not doing anything to change who you are, who you want to be, or how you're having an outcome, or your thought process. The mindset is everything. And because you're not changing your mindset, and you're looking for other people to change it for you with their words and not with your words yourself, people in my age group, we're drinking and we're doing drugs and we're hurting ourselves. And by doing that, we're becoming a bad society. And this is why people are dismissing us. This is why people are saying that they're scared for our generation and our society. And, that's how we become a statistic. And then we have the people who quit and decided to not actually progress, without doing anything, because they want to stay with their parents forever, because their parents are becoming enablers. Oh, it's okay, you'll figure it out. So, you just stay home and we'll help you out, and, we'll help you do every step of the way. Parents are becoming enablers because they're enabling a lazy person. They're enabling a bum. You know what I mean? I have this thought process when it comes to parents helping. Maybe because my parents didn't help. Maybe this is why I have that thought process. So I would love to converse and go back and forth with someone on this, but right now it's just me. So if your parents are helping you and paying for your stuff, or paying for your phone bill, or just one thing, if your parents are providing everything in the household and you're living there rent free and they're paying for your phone bill and you work, and you have to pay for your own gas. Okay, you're working. They're paying for your phone bill, but you have a job, so why can't you pay for your phone bill? Why can't you pay for your phone bill and the gas? It makes no sense for you at that point not to have a good credit score. It makes no sense for you not to have money saved away. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I look about. Then you got those people who have a job, but their parents are paying for everything and they're not being responsible. And it makes no sense. Or you have those people who their parents aren't doing either. They don't live with their parents, they're not helping them, so then they're relying on friends. And it's okay to rely on friends and it's okay to have roommates and do all that with your friends, but in reality, you have to think, I'm an adult. And because I'm an adult, I need to then think about how am I going to help myself without other people. It's fine to split rent 3 ways, but can I do this by myself one-on-one? Because I'm not trying to split rent 3 ways at age 27, 31, 35. I feel like in our society, like I said, and I think I said this in 1 or 2 podcast episodes before, you need to have realistic timeframes and goals for yourself as a young person for things that you want to succeed and have at a certain age to make that happen. And that's only going to happen by action. Dreams without goals are just dreams. Denzel Washington said that, and it's one of my favorite quotes. Dreams without goals are just dreams. If your dream is to have a house like me, but you're not saving for it, or you're not planning for it, or you're not doing anything to get yourself in line and in track to achieve that dream, it's just sitting there as a long-term goal. And that's the thing that sucks about it. Is people aren't realizing what are their long-term goals, what are their short-term goals, what is actually achievable, what is actually attainable, and what do they need to do in order to make that happen. If I had a whole bunch of money in the world, the first thing I would do is open a nonprofit organization to help kids in high school come out of high school, or to have a course in high school to take, or to have a community like after school program, whatever, something to help the community, help people to adjust from high school into college and from college into this quote unquote real world when it comes to investments, when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to what it really actually looks like for a resume, actually real world, interviews via, how our technology is, via Zoom, through a phone call, how to conduct yourself in a phone call, what to say, the same thing with an in-person interview, how to conduct yourself, what to dress. We touch those things in high school, but no one takes it seriously. Now that we're entering in the real world, those are real things to, talk about. When you talk about credit, okay, this is how credit's used. Okay, now you have bad credit. How do I need to reverse this bad credit to make it good credit in order to get a car? Yeah, let's talk about finances. How much money do I need to make to actually achieve an apartment, a car insurance, food, all that stuff? What is attainable? What do I need to do? What is a realistic figure of what I need to do with the economy going so high and jobs kind of paying less if I have this degree? Or what is the lifestyle balance that I need to have from this real world or this job that I have with the things that I want in life and the things that I need? What does that income look like? What does that outcome for me look like? I would love to start a nonprofit organization to do something like this. I feel like it's so valuable and so monumental for us to learn and to know. I feel like this is a topic and things that aren't discussed and resources that aren't available. Like I said, guys, I've invested literally over $2,000 into 4 to 5 mentors to help me in mindset, to help me in finances, to help me when it came to my podcast, when it came into business management, when it came into, launching my boutique. I have invested money into people who've made thousands to millions of dollars, teaching people how to do the same thing they've done while also doing my own research on the side. And from everything that I have learned and seen and I'm observing and watching, because I'm an observer, I'm nosy as fuck, from things that I'm seeing on social media to everyday walk of life is crazy to me, because it's not even, it doesn't add up. It's not adding up. And I feel like that's something, that's a goal of mine. That is a goal of mine, to get a nonprofit organization to help young adults learn what it is to be successful in the real world when it comes to entrepreneurship and when it comes to every single day life. It's so important. Please, because it's not even something that we talk about, or that's, a lot of people don't really take serious in high school, or really talk about, really ask their parents, or their parents talk about with kids, or teach. Because I know my parents didn't teach me about credit. They didn't teach me about investments. They didn't teach me about home equity. They didn't teach me what it was to buy a house, or to have a house, or to own something. They didn't teach me about bills. They didn't teach me that stuff. They said, go to school, be a kid, learn, do good. You need to bring home these good grades. You need to do sports. That was my life. That's what I did. And anytime I achieved something great, they got the praise for it, because they told me that's what I needed to do. But at the same time, I was the one doing it. But they got the praise. You know what I'm saying? So it's like us being the young generation, and us going through this thing, and me being aware. Awareness is key. A lot of us aren't aware. We're not aware of what's going on, because we're so blinded by the shit that is trending, and by the stuff that we think is fun and entertaining, or people are so keen on being fucked up and rude on social media, or in other people's mentions or DMs, or bashing someone, that they're not aware that people have shit going on in lives, and this is real world, and that there's real more serious things that they need to achieve and get done in a time frame in order to be this quote unquote thing called successful before it's too late. And when I mean it's too late, I mean it's too late because they're consuming themselves with negativity, bad thoughts, alcohol, drugs, partying, being stupid. And then before you know it, you're not healthy enough. Health is another thing that will help you be successful. Your health, you only get one body. So by keeping yourself healthy and active is going to help you want to be successful, want to do more, travel more. You're going to be able to do so much more with a healthy body. And by you damaging your body, it's going to be too late for you to do all those things in order to be successful, to be able to retire somewhere in Barbados, for an example. You know what I'm saying? So me as a parent, I already know what I'm going to talk and teach my child about. I'm going to do everything my parents did not do, plus some. You know what I'm saying? So us being the younger society, I challenge you to teach someone young, or to teach a young sibling, or to spread the word, or to talk or have an open conversation about awareness, about humility, about the things that you have fucked up on, and admit to your fuck ups, and teach someone about home equity or real estate, or teach someone about what it is to be a parent, or how to be a parent, or good knowledgeable things when it comes to being a parent, or how to do something, how to build something, what is a good book. Educate each other, bring awareness and educate other people. I feel like it's so smart and so important that our generation doesn't do it. And the people that are doing it are very successful, but there's very little of us. There's very, very, very little of us. And those right there are the successful entrepreneurs. Those right there are the successful business corporate people, or graduates, or you know what I'm saying? So it's just something to think about and kind of fall back on. But kind of getting back into what I was trying to get at. Is remember and listen to how you treat people, okay? Remember and listen to how you treat people. Hey, Hustle Hive, this is your girl Marianna here. I'm interrupting today's podcast episode because I want you to stop what you're doing and support. Go ahead and go to www.secretswithansbyheaven.store and check out my boutique that I just launched. My boutique is a beauty, cosmetics, and personal care website. So make sure you guys stop by there either before, during, or after the podcast episode. Also, don't forget to make sure and share with friends and family. Okay, that website one more time is www.secretswithansbyheaven.store. I hope you become an angel soon. Make sure to subscribe to our email list. Now, let's get back to the show. How you treat people will say a lot about your person and about your character, okay? So it will reflect a lot on your life. So just think about it like this. From a business standpoint, if you're mean and you're an asshole as a business partner or as an employee or as a manager, your employees will reflect negatively on it. Your business will reflect negatively on it, and it will show. And when it comes to, your work, you can mess up. People will probably mess up. You'll get a lot of people will have a no call, no show. You'll probably do a lot of call, no show because people won't, want to fuck with you. They won't want to work with you. They won't want to do business with you. And that right there also affects money, and it affects, future opportunities and stuff like that. So remember, every day on how you treat people and how you walk with life is a reflection of you, your character, and your individual person. Okay, so now embrace people, embrace employees like family. Okay, I know it's really hard for people to embrace others like family and do stuff like that because of the fact that it's a sensitive topic. When you bring someone in and you teach and or you learn something about people, we become vulnerable. Us as people, we don't like to embrace others because we don't want to become vulnerable. Vulnerability is a big thing. It's a good thing. It's okay to be vulnerable sometimes. It's something that I myself even had to learn as well. And it's something that you have to do over time. And it's, it takes time and you have to be very patient when it comes to it. I'm not a patient person at all. I don't even like the word patience if you ask Darian. So vulnerability, being vulnerable, having a person be vulnerable with you is another big thing. And you might ask, like, why bring employees and people in like family and stuff? And, if people make you money or lose you money, support you or don't support you. And the answer to that is because you need to embrace people, because loyalty and consistency is hard to find. So if you embrace someone like family and you become vulnerable with them, they become loyal to you. And when they become loyal to you, they're consistent. They're consistent with their actions, with their feelings, with their true self. And consistency and loyalty, like I said, is very, very hard to find in this day and age. And when you find someone to give you consistency and you find someone to give you loyalty, all you can do is applaud and praise and try to hold on to that as much as you can. Let me do a side note here. Relationship wise, okay, this is such a side note, but it's something that I had to say because it just popped into my head. And it's something that I also learned that I feel like would be a really good lesson for you guys. Think of my baby daddy for a second. I don't like calling him my baby daddy. I usually say Nevaeh's father, but for short-term reference, Nevaeh's father, whatever, baby daddy. I just don't like to kind of disrespect people in that way because he does do a lot for me. So, side note, Nevaeh's father, boom. Okay, how can I say this? How did I want to say this? I always have to kind of like backtrack on my notes. Okay. Him, we embraced each other. We care about each other, and we co-parent very well. Those are the key things that you need to know. When it comes to vulnerability, I'm more vulnerable to him than he is to me. I don't like when I'm more vulnerable to a person than they are to me, because then I feel like I'm losing. In a way, I feel like people have one up on me, and us as people, we don't like when people have one up on us. That's just who we are. That's in our nature. That's in our character. Okay. Now, when it comes to that, I have to understand in relationship wise, when it comes to us parenting, and when it came to when I used to live with him, and when it comes something that I learned from my new relationship that I am in now with Darian is I have to love people for who they are and what they show me. I knew that Garrett did not want to be in a relationship, but he did ask me for a kid. Okay. Now, when knowing this information, I knew that by allowing myself to be around, near, live with someone who did not want to be in a relationship, though I wanted to be one, I became vulnerable and very, very hurt. Therefore, the action came a child. Now I have to live in the facade prior to my relationship with Darian of being hurt, being bitter, being angry, being frustrated, being hurt, felt like I was used, even though I knew what it was. And I wasn't happy with the outcome because it wasn't the outcome that I wanted. I have to love this person, one, because they're the father of my child, and that's just who I love Garrett because he's the father of my child. I love him because he's done a lot for me, and I love him for the person that he's always been, which is very, very consistent. Very consistent to who he was, what he showed me, and who he's always been. okay? Not the person I wanted him to be, not the person that I thought he was going to be, but for who he is now, okay? Now, Darian, on the other hand, knowing that information that I know now helps me as a person moving forward and going on into my relationship with Darian, as if Darian is going to be a mama's boy, I'm going to love him for that, because he has great qualities in caring for women and putting women first in his life. And those are great qualities to have as far as him being a mama's boy. Now, when it comes to us progressing in our relationship and him being a very patient, a very honest, a very caring person, I need to know that I need to be patient, and I need to learn patience because he's patient, and things aren't just going to happen when I want them to happen. So learning that from a prior situation has helped me grow as a person in a new relationship. So that was just my side note on that. So back to the point of what I was saying, but yes, embrace people, because they will give you loyalty and consistency, and that stuff in life, people, is hard to find. So in real life, on a day-to-day, understand this. What I say, if you take anything from this podcast episode in the next couple of minutes, please take this. Okay, so I'm going to say this, you guys, okay? I'm going to try to say it slow so everyone is able to hear it, understand it, and really retain it. So givers get every time. So every time you call someone, are you calling someone to ask for something, or are you calling someone to give something? Or, it doesn't have to be over a phone call. It's in a regular everyday life. When you are communicating with a person, are you asking for something, or are you giving something? If you give something to 3 people every single day, I bet you it will turn your day, your life, and it will make that person's day around. Every time you call or communicate with someone, try to give something, regardless if it's knowledge, peace, love, and positivity. If it's a scripture, if it's a hello, if it's a thank you, try to give something to at least 3 people a day. When me and Darian work out on Mondays and Fridays, I make sure I always, we have this conversation with our trainer, appreciating someone. I make sure, even my 3, Nevaeh, she's going to be 3 this year. Even she tells people she appreciates them. She knows how to use it in a context, but I don't think she really understands the value of what it means when she sits there and say, I appreciate you. I tell people all the time, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for taking that time out. Thank you for, training me. Thank you for teaching me something. Thank you for, giving me your time. Time is very, very valuable these days. So when someone gives you their time, tell them you appreciate them. Call someone up, say, I appreciate you. Hey, thank you. Hey, I was just thinking about you. I hope you're having a good day. If you do that to 3 people in a day, it will turn someone's day around. And then in return, it may turn your day around. 3 people might call you and say some shit like that. You know what I mean? You got to think how the way their universe thinks. You got to think how the way you move on a day-to-day basis, and how much people on a regular call and be like, can you do something for me? Or can you do this? Or, hey, can this? And it's always a can and a can and a can. You know what I'm saying? And that's not how the way we should operate. You know what I'm saying? And so I just thought I kind of point that out there. So kind of moving on with it is give back. Always give back. And when you think of it kind of like a circle. Okay, so if you're in a circle, you can become more successful by giving back to people. And the best way to kind of say this is, an example of networking. Okay, so let me jump down to where my networking notes are, because I thought it was really key to kind of say. So I'm going to jump real quick. So keeping in mind giving back and discussing it 3 people. When you go to a networking event, a lot of people don't know how to network. So the first thing I'm going to say to it is leave the business card at home. Okay, you don't need a business card, because what is the whole point in going to a networking event if you're going to hand somebody a piece of paper? If someone hands you, or you hand someone a piece of paper, you're not communicating with them. Therefore, you cannot add value to a person except for a piece of paper, and you're killing the tree. You know what I'm saying? So that just one thing that I have to say for there too is ask people about themselves. And when you're at a networking event, instead of saying, "Hi, my name is Marianna. I am the co-founder of a podcast and I'm this," say, "Hi, my name is Marianna. What do you do? Who are you? How can I help you? Who can I connect you with that can help you make revenue or that can give you some knowledge to help your business?" Which one sounds better? By me networking with a person and asking them or telling them who they are and how I can help them is going to be way more valuable, and it's going to make that person want to work with me and help me and give back to me more than, "Hey, my name is Marianna. I'm the co-founder of this. Do you add value to my business?" Or "How can I get you to add value to my business?" You know what I'm saying? That's going to make the person be like, "Oh my gosh, they asked me who I was, how they can help me. Well, shit, you can hook me up with this person," or, "Hey, you can help promote this." And by doing that, they want to do something in return for you. So then you're in front of their audience, their customers, their consumers. And therefore, once that happens, your consumer base grows. You grow as a person. You grow on the internet. Your business grows. And therefore, now you have a partnership. You have someone you have networked with. Now, the people that you each know together, you guys know. So instead of it just being one person and just yourself, you have now connected with one person who you asked how you can help them and add value to them. And let's just say, for an example, they gave you 3 people. So now you make a total of 5. And like a hand, it could be kind of seen as a circle. Kind of wrapping that back around to when I said, think of a circle. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like something that I wanted to make you guys kind of think about. All right. And so I think that kids should kind of be raised around this. You know, I think that we should be praised more by our humility and our accountability and the things that we give and, appreciate, more than anything. If Nevaeh helps a kid during, when she plays soccer or whatever sport, and she helps them up and, is doing something nice and caring, I'm going to praise her for that more than her winning the game. You know what I'm saying? I think as a parent, I'm going to do that, and I want to do that more than thinking about the game. Me and Darren had this conversation of what kind of parents we're going to be, or people keep asking me, "Do you want Nevaeh to do this sport like you did, or do you want?" And the thing is, I don't really know. I don't know if I want my daughter to follow my footsteps, just yet, because I really don't know how successful I am or going to be. I don't know when it comes to when it comes to the type of parent that I want, I just don't know yet. And when me and Darren were kind of talking about it when it came to kids and talking about the kind of parents that we want to be and how we praise, we were always like, "Oh man, no, we can't, everybody on the team can't get a trophy. You either win or you don't win. You either win or you lose." And I'm thinking about it as I'm educating myself more, and I'm listening to different podcasts and listening to my mentors and, listening to my motivational speeches and everything that I'm listening to and reading and retaining knowledge in. And I'm thinking about, okay, this is how I was raised. How am I going to raise my kid? How am I going to bring up my legacy, my family? I don't want to be like that now that I kind of think about it. I don't want to be like, well, if everyone on the team gets a trophy, then, you all kind of suck. No, if my daughter, teamwork, cool, great job. I want to praise my child based on humility, her being humble, her accountability, her, taking, the time to realize when she messed up and coming forward to messing up, and all those things are really things that I want to praise. Us not taking accountability is kind of crushing us, and I think that's why people are so scared about our futures, because we're thinking of it as, think of social media, for an example. Anytime something bad happens on social media, everyone's blaming social media and stuff and not really the person behind it or anything. Yeah, we try to, and that's another thing that brings up that point, about social media or just life in general. We're always trying to pick on who to blame, let's play the blame game, and, who to pick it on, when really it needs to be us as individuals, us as people. You know what I mean? We need to take, once again, accountability. All right. So one thing that I kind of want to be in my feelings about before I close off today's podcast episode is I kept telling myself and thinking bad and negative things because I kept seeing my peers from school graduating and, and having degrees and stuff and posting pictures and stuff like that. And I'm over here degreeless with almost 3-year-old, a baby daddy. And I'm thinking like, fuck, I fucked up. Everyone kept telling me in high school that I was going to be so successful that I felt like it kind of jinxed it. And it kind of like messed with me because it was like, no, don't tell yourself that negative stuff. You are going to be successful. You know what I mean? You may not have went to college, but you have a real world job and street knowledge that other people don't have. That's one thing about me. I have more knowledge and more street knowledge in the things that is going on in the real world, as far as like business wise and stuff like that and marketing, than what a lot of people do who go to school for it, because they're not actually doing it on an everyday basis to apply it, especially when it comes to customer service. A lot of people don't know how to talk to people, therefore things come across wrong all the time. And how the way you deal with people and you deal with customers on a day-to-day basis can help you either problem solve or de-escalate a situation or what comes next. And that's what I'm successful. Even though I don't have a degree, even though I was in a drought for a second and I saw people doing so good, I had to remind myself, I have more knowledge in a lot of things than majority of the people I know that are in my age group and that I went to school with. So I'm going to do a quick flex on you guys real quick. I knew how to build websites by the time I was 18. I've been doing marketing ads. I have a business too now, and getting, my first sale was something really good. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to upsell people. I know social skills, great communication when it comes to customer service. I have been a CSR. I know, different types of things when it comes to different businesses. I have worked now currently in the automotive industry and have worked in, website industry and marketing and business and stuff like that. I have done multiple kind of different things. And I know what it is to start a business, how to have a business, how to run a business, the fundamentals, kind of like business 101 when it comes to it. And I know how to start something and I know how to finish it and I know how to be consistent with it. I don't just start a project and stop it. So with all those things happening, I have a great understanding. And one thing that I invested in that I know a lot of people won't do is invest into mentors and to invest into time into reading and really obtaining knowledge. So I just wanted to say that's my, big flex right there, investing and, doing credit and taking ownership and owning an apartment and, learning about home equity and having a car and having my own, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to be 24 years old. Like I said, I'm going to have 2 businesses. I'm going to have a paid 9-to-5 job. I know marketing, business, web development. So everything that I learn and I know, I just know that I'm going to be successful and I'm doing it. And Morgan had to kind of remind me that the other day when I saw someone post a picture of them, with their bachelor's in science and engineering, their 2 degree or I saw this girl, she had her master's and stuff like that, we went to school with and stuff, and I'm just looking at them like, fuck. And I had to remind myself so much that I have achieved in so little time that's been tremendous for me as an individual, okay? And real quick, I'm just like to say I'm very optimistic about my life, and I feel like a lot of us should too, because you should always think positively and you should always take risk. One thing I have done that I know that's going to make me successful and continue to make me successful is I take risk. And I believe in myself. And I feel like a lot of us need to take risk. And when we take risk, it's going to help us understand a little bit more of what it is to be successful. Okay? Real quick, how to not give a fuck. Stop worrying about what other people think and say. Your losses are yours, and what's going on in your life is going to make you a better person. It's going to make you want to learn more, okay? So mind the business that pays you. We don't need people's 2 cents, because you lose money by caring what other people actually think than caring about yourself. You make money by caring about yourself while you lose money by caring about other people's 2 cents. You see how that works there? You make more money caring about what you got going on and what you're doing, minding the business that pays you, than losing money from the 2 cents that people are inputting, under your comments or in your mentions or what you're replying to. Okay? So value this. Write down the things that money can't buy. So for me, it'll be family for one. I'm just going to list one because it's going to take forever. So money cannot buy me a child. Money can't buy me the family that I want and that I want to have and that I want to build, okay? Now, if I write down the things that money can buy, obviously I have a long list too. You know what I mean? So, I'll sit there and say that, a house or traveling, you know what I'm saying? Now, once you have that written down, think back to COVID-19, a year and a half ago, whatever. Think about how people cared more about being outside, being in nature, seeing family, hanging out with friends, people wanting and needing to make more connections and having relationships and wanting to actually for once be in a relationship, even if it was temporarily for sex or just for comfort or for entertainment. People actually needing and wanting to have a connection and to be in a relationship. That is something that money could not buy them, because the world kind of stopped. People were getting fired from jobs. Money no longer really had a value. Gas prices went down because people really weren't driving. The things that you wanted, really think, the things that you really wanted during COVID, money possibly could not buy. Unless you're talking about going on a trip, but you wanted to be somewhere else with people, other people, doing other things outside. That's something money could not buy. And a lot of people did great things in starting businesses and doing great things and wanting to realize the value of time, relationship, family, and what it is to be successful and want to be in business for yourself. That was the time to do it. And a lot of people took keen to that. And if you didn't make that time really valuable to you during the lockdown or, during COVID, what were you doing? You weren't using your time very wisely. You know what I'm saying? And you really weren't valuing the things that a lot of people were, because you probably were drinking too much, doing drugs, chilling, being lazy, not really doing too much. All right. So this brings me to the whole point of the topic of chasing output, okay? So networking. People during COVID-19, the things that money could not buy were connection and relationships, okay? So when we think of output, we think of networking. We need to source, the biggest asset. The biggest asset that I said earlier, if you did not remember from the beginning of the podcast episode, is attention. Yes, attention. People seeing you. I said seeing, eyes, okay? Attention is the biggest asset you can have. We live here in a day and age where attention is the new currency. Attention is the new currency when it comes to marketing, when it comes to building a business, when it comes to building a brand, when it comes to marketing yourself, who you are, your identifier, your person, your resume, the face of you trying to get a job, go to a company, make something yourself, trying to, have a job, your resume, you, the person that you represent, that attention that you get, your social media, all of that is how you move forward. Investments, podcasting. People are finally understanding that if you have a genuine passion for something and you want to share it and help others and be of value to others, you can do anything because there's a market for it. You have to market, and by marketing, you're sending attention to yourself. Any way that you can set attention to yourself is going to bring you some type of value. Any way that you can bring value to others on a platform or put something out there is bringing attention to you. Me having this podcast is bringing value and attention to you guys based on topics that I discuss and that I'm not scared to talk about when it comes to society, when it comes to the culture. When it comes to little things like that, by me bringing you value, you bring me attention. That is value. We share value. We are helping each other. You know what I'm saying? If you do not take anything from this podcast, take that. Attention is value. Attention is the new way to market. That is your greatest asset in life, is the attention that you have and that you bring. The face that you are. Okay, the face that you are. And the truth of today is that if you don't know how to move forward in today, right now, with society, with technology, with anything, with, learning, having new knowledge, having a new mindset, if you don't know how to move with society on social media or platforms, you're absolutely irrelevant. Okay, I just want to say you are absolutely irrelevant. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to say it that rude and that blunt, but that's just the thing. People don't know about people who aren't out there getting attention. People know about people who are talking, posting, engaging. Okay, those are the people who are not irrelevant. And it's sad to say, but it's tough. It's true. Okay, in business, we have a lot of people doing sales and not branding and marketing. Okay, there's something I told you to listen for and really think about too in the beginning of the podcast. It was sales. Okay, let me rephrase everything that I'm going to talk about. We were talking about attention is your greatest asset. Okay, that's the first thing we talked about. The second thing we talked about is how adding that asset and seeing how that asset helps two people, how it helps me and how it helps you as the listener. Okay, now we're talking about how in business and in general, a lot of people are doing more sales than branding and marketing. I'm the brand. I am Blacklist Hustle Podcast. I am Secrets by Heaven. I am the brand. And by me branding and marketing, I am becoming that face. But if I'm just trying to sell you something and not add value, then I'm not branding or marketing. The best way to be successful as an entrepreneur and as a person in life is by giving information or some value to a person and not expect anything back. Yes, I asked you guys to share, like, subscribe. Half the time you guys don't fucking do it. Let's just be real. But the whole point is I tell you guys because that's my call to action and hoping that that's what you guys would do. But I'm not expecting you guys to do it. I still come on here. I still post regardless how many views it gets, good or bad, how many people actually listen, don't listen. I still post on social media. Yes, I have missed 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. But when I do post, I come with some shit. And I come with some gems for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's that little thing, okay? Some value, you need to add value to a person and not expect anything back. Now, by doing this, you build a relationship, you build a name, you build a brand, and you become more of what another person would need. You become what another person would sell. A person would want to sell your brand or share a post or like something or want to work with you if you're not expecting anything back. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing as I said about the whole networking thing. When you network, instead of just saying, hey, my name is Marianna, how can you help my business? Who are you and how I can add value to you and your business? Who can I introduce you to? You know what I'm saying? And we don't have a lot of branding and marketing. Again, everything becomes math. And personally, I fucking hate math. I suck at math. Okay, so I say everything is becoming math because everyone is trying to sell somebody something. And I think that's one of the things that in the beginning of the podcast that I was saying about Forex a little bit is like you're either successful or you're not. It's either good or it's bad. I wanted to become successful at Forex to build a team to help others. A lot of people want to become successful in Forex to just worry about themselves, and some people just want to build a team to make them money and not really care how they're adding value to their teammates. Okay, and when it comes to that, you got to think about like, it's all about algorithms and conversions and exchanges. When it comes to a sale and a person's trying to sell you or a person's trying to, get you to promote something, to them it's an algorithm. To them it's a conversion rate. To them it's a conversion sale. Or it's an exchange. If I do this for you, you do this for me. It's not, hey, I want to do this for you because you did this for me. Or I want to do this for you because I know it's the right thing to do. Or, hey, because I can help you. It's always something us as people that we're expecting others to do or wanting something back. And it's usually about money. It's about a sale. It's about a favor. If you're going to do something for someone, do it without the expectation of wanting or needing something back. Do it without having to say, well, I did this for this person, so, they shouldn't want shit for me. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to remind someone that you did something for them, what is the whole point of helping them in the first place? You know what I'm saying? So that's really how I wanted to end today's podcast episode. I hope you found this very, very entertaining, very, very, very useful, guys. I had so much fun doing this podcast episode. This actually is probably one of my favorite ones that I have done so far. I'm definitely going to be coming to you guys with more entertainment, more content. I'm sorry that it is taking me like a week or two to come and get on here and post and, being not as consistent as I was before. But I'm trying to work. I'm not even going to give an excuse. I'm trying to work on my consistency more with the podcast as I was before, as much as I am being consistent with marketing for my boutique. Secrets by Heaven, and how consistent I am, with, my 9-to-5 job and, being a mom and stuff. So I'm trying to be more consistent for you guys and to push out the content. Season 3, we are all here about what it is to be a boss, how it is to be a boss, everything from what I'm learning from this business, owning this boutique, doing this podcast, marketing, what it is to brand, what it is to have a business, what it is to making me a better person in everyday life as an entrepreneur, as trying to be a successful entrepreneur and here forward. So hopefully next episodes will be really great for you guys. I hope you guys love this episode. Once again, thank you so much for listening to Blacklist Hustle Podcast. This is your host, Marianna. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this podcast episode. Don't forget to stop by www.secretsbyheaven.store to check out my boutique that I just launched not too long ago. Make sure to share with friends and family there. Don't forget to also follow all 3 accounts on Instagram @_love_Marianna if you want to keep up with me. Don't forget to follow Secrets with an S by Heaven _ if you want to go ahead and follow the boutique online and then on Instagram. And don't forget to follow Blacklist _Hustle _. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.